This kind of leads into what you were talking about a minute ago. So as the SummerSlam card is starting to take its final form, it does seem eerily similar to WrestleMania. Many of the wrestling fans have been complaining about repeat matches in WWE. What are your thoughts on using repeats of big time matches?
All right, so to be fair about SummerSlam, and this is an AEW and WWE problem, I don't know what it is. The injury bug has hit both companies. It happened to whatever the last pay-per-view was for AEW, where they didn't have Daniel Bryan, they didn't have CM Punk, they didn't have a lot of people, right?
Same Door, or did I make that up?
Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
There you go. Same with SummerSlam, right? We thought we were going to get Roman Reigns and Randy Orton, which would have been completely different. I think that the Brock Lesnar thing came because Vince McMahon hit a fucking panic button and said, I'm going to need a big name to come in. You know, I don't think they had enough faith in Riddle to do it. So they said, all right, we're going to bring Brock Lesnar in. We'll just do this again. From everything I've read, though, not even WWE is happy with this card they're putting out. Like, there are people internally going, we're not happy with this. Like, how we got to this, we're not happy with this. And that's scary because I don't love the way WWE has they've done it for a while now, but they build towards two shows. That's what they're doing. They build towards WrestleMania and they build towards SummerSlam.
Okay.
And so they're constantly trying to take that one big match and go, we'll stick that at WrestleMania or we'll stick it at SummerSlam. And then this is what happens. When you get these injuries, you're not able to fill in the card exactly where you want to. I wish they would just let the premium live events just kind of grow organically. Let Roman and Brock fight at whatever, and then let Clash of the Castle, let Drew and Roman fight, and at Survivor Series, let Roman fight Seth Rollins, and always let everything feel big. The problem with trying to make certain events feel more spectacular than others is that the others get kind of pushed to the side, and there's no value in those events anymore. I get having WrestleMania. You have to have the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But SummerSlam doesn't need to be this thing that we build towards. Now, you can always put together a really good card with whatever's going on, but you don't need to build an entire, like, everything post WrestleMania feels like it's been building to this moment. And then we look at the card and we go, it's Brock and Roman again.
Yeah.
It's Becky and Bianca again. And I'm not going to go as far as to complain because I enjoy Brock and Roman. I think I'll enjoy that. It's the same thing again. I get it, but I'll enjoy it. Becky and Bianca possibly had second best match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
At least night one. So I'm not going to complain about that. What I will complain about is the build up to these things, right? Because for WrestleMania, we had like 6 months of Becky and Bianca going at each other. And now for the last 3 months, we've had Bianca basically fight nobody. And all of a sudden, Becky shows back up. And we're supposed to do this again. I'm hoping Bayley shows up or Charlotte shows up. Something to throw a wrench in this, right? Mm-hmm. You look farther down the card. It looks just like WrestleMania, right? Pat McAfee. No complaints there. He'll steal the fucking show. He'll be fucking great. But it's like...
Seen it?
We've seen it. It's not as big of a surprise this time. And you're definitely in that match not going to have Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin come out.
True.
So
we had talked about that, like, he's going to have a lot to prove this time.
He set the bar so high, and that's not a bad thing. Like, I'm not saying that as a negative. Pat McAfee set the bar so high for himself. You go, if he can fucking eclipse that, which I think he can. Mm-hmm. If there's anybody who can do it, I think he can. But he set the bar so fucking high that sometimes it's even unrealistic to believe that he should do that again. But that's the expectation, right?
Yes, definitely.
Logan Paul's back.
I'm excited for that.
I am too, but it's a lot of the same. Sure. These are all names that were at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, talking about it, I literally do feel like it's baby WrestleMania.
To me, it's almost more important, or not to, but is it more important? I guess the question is it more important to put the best matches on a premium live event, or is it more important to feature certain up and coming talent? And it's a hard question to answer because SummerSlam is supposed to be that big event. It's a stadium show. Everybody's coming. So do you just take all your best wrestlers, throw them in there? It doesn't matter if they fought each other before. Or do you need to put up and coming wrestlers like they're kind of doing with Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey, even though I don't know, that's not the pairing I would have done either. There is an issue with like rinse and repeat with WWE. It's definitely, it exists. The other thing though, I would ask a question is that I don't know this information. What is the turnover of WWE fans? So how many people from WrestleMania carry over? Like I get there are hardcore fans.
True.
And I think we fall in the middle of this. I'd say we're still casual, but we follow WWE.
Yeah.
But how many people fall off after WrestleMania and how many new people come in? So how many people are watching SummerSlam that didn't watch WrestleMania? So Brock, this goes with Craig and Sarah, right? They didn't watch WrestleMania. So Brock and Roman is a huge fucking deal to them because they've never seen it before.
Yes.
So that's my question is how many people, what's the turnover in fans? Anybody who's been watching for the last 3 years goes, oh, fuck, we're doing Brock and Roman again. But anybody who just started watching maybe 2 months ago goes, these are the two guys that are supposed to be the biggest in this business and they're going to fight each other? I don't know.
That would be an interesting question to find the answer to.
I heard the podcast show on TikTok, we're friends with them on TikTok, the Putting You Over show on Twitch, and he came out and said that he thinks Pat McAfee and Logan Paul are the biggest stars in WWE. 100% agree. I mean, I 100% agree with that. And I understand Roman and Brock. They're the biggest wrestlers. But I think like just as far as people who come in with built-in fan bases and a level of an excitement, those guys have to be on this show. So there isn't like, there's a lot on those guys' shoulders to perform because when you look at the card, like when you look at the entire card from top to bottom, those guys are taking up 2 slots on a major premium live event and they have to perform.
Yeah.
Both of those guys have to perform. Like Logan Paul.
I mean, it's a big deal.
Logan Paul, he can't go out there and then like he signed a contract. He can't go shit the bed.
True. That's true.
Last question that I kind of ask myself is if you're comparing this to WrestleMania, because that's kind of what they've done. They've set us up. Is Riddle and Rollins going to be as good as Cody and Rollins? Like with the whole suspense of Cody showing up and things like that, can Riddle and Rollins live up to that? I think so. I think both of those guys are talented enough to actually
they'll put on a good show.
They'll put on a hell of a match.
A different feeling.
My whole argument though with SummerSlam is just a bit of piss poor buildup. They've done a shit job of like, if you had this 3 months to build up to this, why did some of this shit just come together? Like, I think they announced Rollins and Riddle like a week ago.
Yeah.
Why not get into that sooner and let them go at each other? I mean, even like having KO and
do you think that they really had it planned out, or this was just kind of like a last
because if you remember, I was talking about the rumblings of Riddle and Rollins for at least a month. They've known that was the door. Where else were you gonna go? That had to be where they were going.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got for me?